Every great nation faces a question that defines its soul. For America, that question is this: who belongs here and who decides? From Texas to California, from the halls of Congress to school classrooms, the border crisis has become more than a policy debate. It's a moral battlefield where law, compassion, and identity collide. Mass deportations, tariffs on imports to fund enforcement, accusations that ICE has gone too far, and protests over what children should be taught about immigrants in school. So tonight, we ask, how should the border crisis be solved? And what does that answer say about us? Every day, thousands cross the southern border, some seeking opportunity, others fleeing danger. Many risk everything for a dream they believe still exists. America, the land of second chances. But border towns are overwhelmed. Facilities are overcrowded, and states like Texas and Arizona say the system is broken, that Washington has failed to protect the border or the migrants who cross it. What began as an immigration issue has turned into a humanitarian and political storm, and neither side trusts the other's solution. Conservatives argue that compassion without control is chaos. They call for strict enforcement, mass deportations of those here illegally, a physical and digital wall, and even tariffs on Mexican imports to pay for border security. They say it's not cruelty, it's sovereignty, that a nation that cannot control its borders ceases to be a nation at all. They point to drug trafficking, human smuggling, and gang violence spilling across states as proof that loose borders endanger citizens. In their eyes, this isn't about race. It's about law and survival. But critics see a darker picture. They argue that deportations and harsh enforcement ignore the human reality. Families separated, asylum seekers jailed, children growing up in fear. They remind us that America's economy depends on immigrant labor, on farmers, construction workers, restaurant staff, caregivers, people who build the country quietly while politicians argue loudly. Many economists agree deporting millions would cripple industries and raise prices nationwide. And morally, they ask, can a country built by immigrants justify turning its back on them? Then there's the controversy over ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. Supporters call it essential for national security. Opponents call it a symbol of government overreach, accusing it of raiding homes without warrants, targeting citizens by mistake, and operating with too little oversight. In communities across the nation, fear spreads faster than policy. Even legal immigrants avoid hospitals or schools, afraid their families might be caught in a system they no longer trust. And once fear becomes policy, trust dies quietly. Long before democracy does, immigration isn't just fought at the border. It's fought in classrooms too. Parents clash over what students should learn about immigration history, refugee rights, or cultural diversity. Guest speakers spark protests. Teachers are accused of pushing agendas. To some, these lessons are about inclusion. To others, they're propaganda, rewriting identity one curriculum at a time. The border crisis isn't just about who enters the country, it's about what kind of country this will become. So how should America fix the border crisis? Maybe the answer isn't left or right, but forward. A path that balances compassion with control, technology that tracks illegal crossings without dehumanizing people, faster asylum courts, work visas that match real labor demand, and real accountability. For ICE, for Congress, for every agency that hides behind politics while lives are on the line. Because walls can stop bodies, but only reform can stop desperation. At its heart, immigration isn't about policy, it's about people. It's the story of who we were and who we still claim to be. Maybe America's border crisis is less about who's trying to get in, and more about whether we've forgotten why they want to. When the world looks at that border, it doesn't just see fences and guards. It sees the test of an idea. Can freedom still make room for mercy? This is World Leaders, where we look beyond the headlines to the choices that define humanity itself. Subscribe because the border may divide nations, but truth should never have walls.